Hi, my name is Ola Madzimoyo. Today we will be discussing factoring. What is factoring? Factoring is breaking equations apart so that they're easier to solve. Let's talk about polynomials, monomials, and trinomials. Polynomials are mathematical expressions with more than two terms. Monomial is a mathematical expression with exactly two terms, and a trinomial is a mathematical expression with exactly three terms. A variable is a letter that represents a sum. It sometimes comes after a coefficient. Coefficient is the number, and sometimes comes in front of a variable. Example: things surrounded in a circle are coefficients, and things surrounded in a square are variables. So for 4a, coefficient is a number, and the number comes in front of the variable. So in this, 4 comes in front of the variable a, and it's also surrounded by a circle, which means 4 is the coefficient. A is a letter, and it comes after the coefficient, so it's a variable. 127AB, 127 comes before the variable, and it's a number, so it's a coefficient. And AB comes after the coefficient, and it is a letter, and there are letters, so they're variables. A is a variable by itself. Doesn't come after any coefficients. Next, negative 856 ABC to the second power. So negative 856 is a number, although it's negative, and it comes before variables in this case, so it's a coefficient. ABC to the second power are variables. And this might be confusing to some because second power has like a number representation right there, but that essentially means that there are two C's at the end. So it still counts as a variable. Next, prime factorization. So let's use the example of 72. We're going to do the prime factorization for 72. So first, we pull two factors of 72 that multiply together in order to make 72. So 9 times 8 equals 72. So we put that below. Next, we multiply two things together that make 9. So 3 times 3 equals 9, so we put those below as well. Next, we do the same for 8. 2 times 4 equals 8. And then we can't simplify 2 anymore because something times something else does not make 2. But we can simplify 4 further, so 2 times 2 equals 4, so we put those there. So that equals 3 to the second power times 2 to the third power, because on the left there's two 3's at the end, and then on the right there's 3 2's. Next, factoring monomials. So for 15AB, factoring the coefficient. So factors of 15 are 1, 3, 5, and 15. 1 times 15 equals 15, and 3 times 5 equals 15. The factors of AB are 1, A, B, AB, AB to the second power, and B to the second power. Together, the factors of 15AB are 1, 3, 5, 15, A, B, AB, AB to the second power, and B to the second power. Factoring polynomials. So let's go to paint. Alright, so first we have to find the greatest common factor for this equation, which is 10b to the second power plus 15b. So we have to find the greatest common factor for 10 and 15. And the answer is 5, because 5 times 2 equals 10, and 5 times 3 equals 15. Next, we have to find the greatest common factor for the variables, which is b to the second power and b. And the greatest common factor is b, because there is a b in b to the second power and in b, of course. So next, what we do is we combine those, and we have 5b. And next, we have to figure out what we must multiply 5b by in order to come up with 10b to the second power plus 15b. So 5 times 2 equals 10, so we put a 2 there, and then b times b equals b to the second power, so we put a b there. And next, 5 times 3 was 15, and then we don't have to put any other b's because there's already one b in the equation, and 1b right here. So we have 2b plus 3, or 5 times the quantity 2b plus 3. So in order to check, we simply do that again. 5 times 2 equals 10. 5 times 2b equals 10b to the second power. 5 times 3 equals 15, and we keep the b. So yeah. Alright, FOIL and trinomials. So what are quadratic trinomials? Quadratic trinomials are trinomials where the highest exponent is 2. Next, adding factors. So, for example, if we have something like 12a to the second power plus 6a plus 8, we would add the factors of the right side of this equation to make the middle. So the right side is 8. So we add 2 factors of 8 in order to make 6. If we think about it, 4 times 2 equals 8. So that's a factor, and then 2 is also a factor of 8. So 4 plus 2 also creates 6. So there's our answer. Next, we're going to talk about FOIL. So FOIL stands for first, outside, inside, and last. So for example, if we have the equation a plus 2 times the quantity of a plus 4, FOIL is we would multiply a in a plus 2 times the a in a plus 4, which is a to the second power. Then we will multiply a in a plus 2 times 4 in a plus 4, which is 4a. Then we will multiply 2 in the a plus 2 times a in the a plus 4, which is 2a. And then we will multiply the 2 in a plus 2 times 4 in a plus 4, which equals 8. So if we put all those together, we would have a to the second power plus 4a plus 2a plus 8. And then we can further simplify that by adding the two middle parts of the equation. So we would have a to the second plus 6a, because 4a plus 2a equals 6a, and then we just heap the plus 8. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned a lot about factors.